My name's Jason Dyken. I've been in Gulf Shores since 1997 and have served on the City Council for the City of Gulf Shores, Place 4, for the last 17 years. As I said, I moved here in 97 full-time, but been coming down to Gulf Shores since the 80s. In fact, I live in a beach house that my parents built down on Little Lagoon on West Beach, and I live there currently. So I'm embedded in this community. I've been here, seen a lot over the years. I raised 4 kids in this community. I am an internal medicine doctor. I practiced internal medicine here in Gulf Shores for several years and then retired from medicine and opened up a small business, basically doing financial planning for other healthcare professionals. And still have been doing that for the last 25 years. So that's my background, and I think with that background, it's given me the skills to look at problems and challenges and being able to come up with solutions to those problems through facts, through lack of emotion, and really being objective to come up with the best decisions for the challenges that we face. And I think we've done that with the City of Gulf Shores. I've done that while I've been on council, and I think it's led to some fantastic results. I think we have proven results over the last 17 years, and I look forward to continuing to advance the causes that we've started. So I appreciate your support on August 26th. I think we've accomplished a lot over the last 17 years. I believe the thing I'm most proud of is the financial stewardship that we've shown here for the City of Gulf Shores. When I started in 2008, we were $1.5 million in debt and had a $9 million liability to FEMA. We didn't have a balanced budget, and we had just entered the Great Recession. So since that time, through sound management of the Finance Committee that I'm chair of and the city administration that we have, we've been able to balance our budget every year. We've been able to add surplus, approximately $80 million of surplus that are in reserves, and we manage an $83 million budget. So why I think that's so important is because that's what allows us to do the great things that we have in this community. That's what allows us and allowed us to separate from the county school system and set up a city school system. That's what has allowed us to recruit medical, the freestanding emergency department, and buy the 30 acres to enhance medical care here and provide transport for the citizens of Gulf Shores. That's what's allowed us to protect our environment and renourish the beaches. And that's what has allowed us to work on our transportation needs by expanding road work and adding 55 miles of bike trails. So I think the financial management is something that I think is very near and dear to my heart, and I think something that is very important for the city and has allowed us to create a great place to live here and still maintain the small town culture that we have and that we all love by living here. The goals I have for the city, if I'm re-elected, would be to continue the financial stewardship that we've already done and accomplished, because that allows us to do everything else. I would like to continue to support the excellence in our school system. Our city schools have been a jewel for this community, and happy to continue to support that. Would like to focus on, with my medical background, recruiting medical care here, expand the medical campus as we have it. I'd also like to continue to support our first responders, our police and fire, to make sure that this community stays safe and secure. We'd like to continue to work on environmental stewardship as well. You know, we have many things that we've accomplished, but there's still a lot left to do. Our transportation issues are something that we all have to deal with. I deal with it as well. I live on West Beach, so I get to deal with the summer traffic as much as anybody else in this community. So we need to continue to explore solutions to improve our traffic and our growth issues. And really, I'd like to focus on continuing to develop the airport. I think that's a great unused resource that we have in this community and can actually help with transportation and maybe take some cars off the road. It will also help shoulder our economic diversity, so having people come here in times other than the summer. So really just continuing the work that we've done, balancing between our tourism industry that pays the bills and the needs of our citizens, and to continue to focus on that small town culture that we have and the reason that we're here. And I would just continue to focus on that and do it with transparency, listening to the citizens, and really making sure this place remains the great place that it is and the reason why we all moved here. Yeah, I would say, we're a victim of our own success. I think we've done great things in 17 years and built a community that everyone wants to live and everyone wants to visit. So that balance between growth and keeping our small town culture is one that's very challenging. I think we've done a good job of doing that thus far, but we still have a lot of work to do because you hear the catchphrase about moratoriums, and moratoriums are just a tool. They're not a solution. And in fact, since 2008, we've done 4 moratoriums. And the result of those moratoriums allowed us to look at our regulations, look at our zoning, and through those actions since 2008, we've reduced the number of units that can be built in our community by over 21,000 units. So I think part of dealing with growth is doing it very intentionally and being smart about the growth by looking at our regulations and looking at what the citizens of this community want, and then addressing any changes that we can do in our zoning to accomplish that goal. The other part of that is transportation issues, and we're working as well as we can with the state to improve transportation. And I think part of the growth perspective is also building districts within our community, the Beach District, the Waterway District, the Coastal Gateway District, and really allowing kind of sub-communities within the city of Gulf Shores to develop so people can bike and walk and get to things that they want to without having to get in their cars and drive there. I think that will take a big burden off our transportation needs. We do need to support our tourism. We need to expand our season and our economic base to a year-round economy, and I think that will help support us from a revenue standpoint, and that revenue can help us continue to enhance the things for the citizens of this community, including more parks, specifically the Coastal Gateway Park, which is a high priority for me and this administration in the next 4 years. But also look at other environmental things, look at other green spaces, look at other amenities that can improve the life of the citizens that live here in Gulf Shores. And so that's my commitment, if you vote for me on August 26th, is to serve this community and retain the small town charm that we have. Thank you.